Okay, I step back and I'll always, okay. Here we go. This is Oldecam.
And this is Notaspringchick, and we're going to be talking today about
Actually,
the internet.
Actually, as it has been declared the death of the internet.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Especially since you're watching this on the internet.
You're watching this on the internet, but they have simply put out a no buy on internet stocks now because they said, first of all, no one can figure out how to make the internet work and pay. We know how to make it work and pay, but nobody will listen to us because it's too simple. But part of this was all jump-started by a 15-year-old Morgan Stanley intern that described his friend's media habits, and it's caused a huge disaster. I mean, the companies that they were, Twitter, people were looking at buying Twitter. People were looking at expand into Twitter. I do know a guy, they talked about the other day, he had $250 million available to start a competitor to Twitter, and he just simply decided he wasn't going to waste the money because if no one's going to invest in, if it is listed as a no buy on internet stocks, no one's going to make an investment. Google has went down, Amazon, all the companies doing internet business have all tanked as a result of this little thing.
See, part of it is I think all things in context, because you have to relate it to context.
Yep.
Now, first of all, he's an intern for Morgan Stanley. He's 15 years old. Okay. Now, granted, he's already an intern for Morgan Stanley, so he's ahead of his class.
Yeah.
But part of it is he's 15 years old.
Yeah.
So what does a 15-year-old do?
He does the same thing on the internet that he does for books, that he does for and television. The very same things. If the reason why they have no audience on TV is the same reason that they got the problems on the internet.
Because even a 15-year-old, some of the habits are actually similar to people in college, which is they only have so much disposable income. In fact, they don't have a tremendous amount of disposable income. And they all get together and share. How do you get the download for free? How do you get this for free? Basically, how do you stretch everything you have? Because they, more than anyone, can probably tell you how to stretch your money.
Oh yeah, and they'll say the biggest abusers of all the systems, the CDs, the DVDs, cable, internet, it's college kids, college students. It's not these 15-year-olds. It's people that actually are in college that are the worst offenders whatsoever.
Because, like in business, people don't share all the business stuff because they think, oh, well, either you should pay for it or business-wise, you don't want to tell your competitor. When they're kids, they all share freely.
They just do it because, I don't have it with me. Actually, I do have things because it's very simple. For instance, this cell phone right here has the ability to link up to other cell phones Bluetooth-wise. Everything that you have on this phone, you can transfer to another phone, and you've paid for it on this phone, and then this phone ends up on 1,000 other phones. And you've only paid for it once. This is why the industry is dying. But
well, I think part of it is when they came out with this report, first of all, why did they do it? Because they thought it was kind of interesting and unique, because a lot of times people that are in these companies, they're so cut off from reality.
Oh, okay. The problem is that, I'll tell you, the businesses, all the advertising agencies, the big media mogul companies, they're all ran by people my age. When I was young, we thought young. The problem is today, the people my age are trying to think young. They can't do that because they aren't young anymore. They're my age, and they just will not, they totally and absolutely will not do anything for somebody that's in their 60s or 70s. They just ignore them like they don't exist.
Yeah.
And those are the only people that are watching television or cable. I mean, they're the people that buy your bloody books. They're the people that buy the Kindles that they're selling at the moment. But here they said, this was no shock what he says in the, where his kids report dismissed Twitter and described online advertising as pointless, proved to be one of the clearest and most thought-provoking insights we have ever seen. I knew that 20 years ago, folks, and I tried to tell people, which is why I got so, it's why I'm not in front of a camera on television or movies anymore, because I tried to get knotheads to listen to me.
See, part of it is because it came from a 15-year-old, all of a sudden it's revolutionary.
But if it comes from a person in his 50s that's explaining why the TV audience is collapsing, they won't listen to you.
Because they're all curious what the 15-year-olds, 15 to 24, what 18 to 30, what they're doing.
Yeah.
So, let's see.
Okay, basically, rapid surge of interest in social network and messaging sites has prompted speculation that sites such as Twitter and Facebook should be taken over. Yeah, they both, Facebook is basically, Facebook has lost like 3/4 of its worth since this thing came out.
Are you
It
serious?
was supposed to be, it was a takeover object, now they had to fund it with I think a Saudi had to give them $200 million to keep the company going.
Well, part of it all has to do with synergy and
Yeah.
placement, because I will tell you that a lot of the Twitter, because they're talking about Twitter being pointless. Teenagers do not use Twitter, he wrote. Most have signed up to the service, but then just leave it as they realize they're not going to update it. Mostly because texting on Twitter uses up credit, and they would rather text friends with that credit. Now here's the point on this, is if you Twitter, okay, and you're using it in your text messages, you don't want to do that. That presumes that you're paying for your text messages, or you only have a block, like 200 messages for $5.
Okay.
It does not assume that you have unlimited texting.
Yeah, but they also, the 15-year-old assumes that everybody is like him and his friends. I hate to tell the little kid, and I hate to tell the people at Morgan Stanley, this phone has internet capabilities. And you can go directly to the internet and do all the cruddy texting you want at no cost to you, except for you to catch on the internet once a month, which is considerably cheaper than texting anybody. You get email and stuff, but so that basically negates his thing, because I don't know of a kid. Okay, we have sat in lines at Disneyland and watched the kids texting, and they're not texting. They're hooking up to the internet because they can't afford to text. And these are, and you figure, I'm assuming most kids are as smart as the kids that are standing in the line using the internet. You don't have an internet connected phone without connecting to the internet. But his reason, though, I love this. They realize that no one is viewing their profile, so their tweets are pointless.
Well,
They're,
it depends on who you have in your group. If all of the people in your group are your friends.
yeah, you get,
right?
Yeah, I mean, most of the people that I know that they Twitter for business reasons. It is the most ungodly, great news gathering device in the history of the world.
Well, part of it is because all the people in our circle, we know, use it for business.
Yeah.
Like my brother, he uses it, he'll call me up and say, why don't you, and I'm like, Roderick, you're using it for social means, because up in the Bay Area, they do have, are you ready, like happy hour for people that Twitter.
Yeah.
Right? And all these people that Twitter, they come and they sit there and play. So it's basically an excuse for interaction.
Yeah.
But
Twitter,
that's not how most of the people use it.
okay, we use it for business purposes. We use it to gather news. We use it to find, we're actually able to get news out faster than the networks, because the Twitter thing is instantaneous. I mean, you'll see somebody, okay, I mean, even, we'll go to one of the guys that's one of the biggest, I won't tell you what his name is, but he typed out a thing, oh my God, there's been a massive accident with the BART system in San Francisco, and who knows how many people, because he had seen it, he Twittered it, but the news people weren't, they didn't have it yet, so I had it up like that. And BART has an accident in San Francisco, more news to come. See,
we've had stuff on earthquake stuff, because it is practically instantaneous.
We've had airplane crashes, earthquakes, it's instantaneous. They can't figure out, let's see, they can't figure out how to make money off of it.
Well, we have a solution for that, but
Yeah.
you have to ask us. We're not going to tell it to you.
We will tell you.
Are you going to tell?
No, we're going to tell you.
We'll
We
give
tell
you an
people,
idea.
okay, how do you sign off most of the time?
Yeah. We're here yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
That's what the internet is. It is the most god-awful greatest library since the days of Alexander the Great, the Library of Alexandria, and people don't treat it with the respect it deserves.
Well, part of it is they're talking about traditional media losing ground. You've got all these different types of media. Use the media for this.